I just decided that I wanted to do speaking content at my Mac and not just into my mic. So here we are, y'all. A little face reveal ish. Let's start off by talking about music related things that I've encountered today. So I had to get on the phone with Apple Music support. Well, it was kind of Apple Music, it was kind of Apple Care, it was kind of just Apple related services. I had to hop on a call with Apple support because I needed to change my region. I live in the US, I used to live in Canada, but my Apple ID was still connected to Canada. So long story short, they had to override a few things so that I could resubscribe to like my Apple Music, my Apple Care, etc. Now we're all good, no more subscription stress. And I was really worried that I would lose all my subscriptions, but I didn't, because a lot of Reddit users were saying you're gonna lose everything, and then other people said you're not gonna lose everything, you're just gonna lose some things. The things that you didn't download are gonna, look, guys, it was a whole thing. But at the end of the day, I didn't lose anything. I'm actually very grateful. I don't know how that happened. We were just gonna hold out, I guess, because anything could happen, and I'm not entirely sure that I really didn't lose anything. I just didn't lose anything for the time being. I resubscribed and everything with all my American details. Didn't lose any data. Let's just hope. Let's just hope. But in other words, musically speaking, I've just been getting really bored of my current rotation, and I feel like I need something thrown in there to spice it up. Like, I just will find music on social media, and then I feel like overplay it and keep listening to the same things over and over and over again. But I need to spice things up. I need to change it up a little bit. I keep listening to the same things, and then I keep getting bored because I'm just listening to the same things. I'll listen to the same, let me get like a ballpark of numbers, something 5 to 15 songs, right? I'll listen to that for maybe a week straight. Then I'll get bored. Then I'll find some new songs. Sometimes this might be more like a month-long process rather than a week-long process. Listen to those same songs and just keep listening to the same songs. Maybe add a new song every now and then to the playlist. Then I get bored and honestly never revisit that playlist unless I'm feeling nostalgic. I'm not really building moments and vibes and stuff, building kind of eras for my music. I am building eras in the sense that I'm building a timeline. I listened to this last summer and I'm listening to this now, but I'm not really building mood playlists like I used to. I used to be a big mood playlister, like vibes. If y'all know, you know, 2020 playlist starting off with Don Toliver's No Idea. Everyone had it and it was called Vibes. Okay, I don't make the rules. Or maybe it was actually 2019. But around that timeline, you know, the girls that know, they know. Everyone had Don Toliver's No Idea at the start of their Vibes playlist. And then I also had Hype. I think that was definitely another one. You have a lot of rap, a lot of dance, upbeat music. This was more like circa 2018, 2019. I think that was a big one for me, having a Hype playlist. Then during the pandemic, I made a playlist called Dance Party. Did I make Vibes in 2020 or 2019? Guys, I'm forgetting now. I used to have one in the 8th grade called Cry. Don't even ask. Don't even ask. I don't know. How much can an 8th grader really be crying that you have a playlist called Cry? It wasn't really meant for crying. It just had a lot of R&B on it, and I felt that Cry was an appropriate emo title for my playlist. So there you go. I had a playlist called Cry. You know, we had some SZA, I'm trying to think of what else. Brent Faiyaz. I mean, who's really crying to Brent Faiyaz? I feel like maybe some of the music is sad, it's emotional, it's about relationships, but I wasn't really crying. I was more so vibing. It was like a late night vibes is kind of a better term, but my 13-year-old self used Cry. I think I, back in the day, had maybe more mood type playlists, but I guess I just don't. I guess I don't now. I would like to make some, but then I'm worried that they will again get stuck in an era, or like my 2026 vibe. What if it's not my 2027 vibe? You know what I'm saying? Or what if my vibe for this month isn't the same as my vibe for next month? and then we're back at square one where I just feel like my music taste is getting too repetitive. So I need something to switch it up. And you guys know I'm an Apple Music user, and Apple Music has the new music playlist that they kind of give you, and I forget whether it refreshes on Tuesday, Thursday, or Friday. Y'all might say, wait, that's a range right there. How do you not know? I don't remember. I just know that every now and then I'll check it and it will have updated, and that's life, right? So I'm gonna keep using that, and I'm just gonna really dig through people's playlists, see what my friends are listening to, see what the music curators that I enjoy engaging with are listening to. And that'll be that. I'll sort out my music listening conundrum through that kind of methodology, hopefully. Did I already say in other news? I'm trying to think of good transition terms for these kinds of videos. Are we really in the YouTube era? I think so, because I find it really easy to just talk to the camera, talk into the mic, and all I need is a MacBook, and I don't really have to script. You can script the video if you want to script, okay guys? This isn't YouTube boot camp. That's not what I'm trying to give. You can script your videos if you want to script them. But I wanted to give podcasts, like you're on FaceTime with a friend. And so that's what I'm trying to give right now. I'm trying to give, podcast or FaceTime with a friend. So let's see what I'm going to talk about next. Have there been any crazy drops that I've loved? Let me grab my iPad actually. I think that will help me out here. Let's go to music. Oh my gosh, I literally love Liam. Liim is how you spell his name. Liam. Some singles he's recently released: R.I.P. Peace is Loving Really Bad, and Machete Summer. That was a color show performance. Let me tell you guys about Liam. If you think that you like Liam, you don't like Liam the way that I like Liam. His music, it just has something in it. Literally, finding his music reminded me of how I felt when I was just a wee girl and I was listening to Frank Ocean for the first time. And you guys might think I'm being dramatic with this comparison, but I'm not, because Liam's voice is just so incredibly melodic and it just captures you, and his lyricism is also top notch. I like his music a lot. He can switch back and forth very, crisply between rapping and singing and just bringing forth this melodic rap-ish, but sometimes it really is just straight up R&B vibe to the table. And so I really like Liam. Listen to Liam. He also has an album out that released in 2025, but I just discovered it this year, that is called Liam LaSalle Loves You. Also full of bangers. Oh, another song, this one stuck in my head. I actually discovered this on TikTok. I discovered Liam on TikTok. So if anyone tells you that finding music on TikTok is overplayed, don't listen to them, because I discovered Liam on TikTok through his song Memorize. I don't want to sing it or play it because I don't know what could get me a copyright strike. So you guys, those are the crumbs you're gonna get. Go look him up and just dig in, have a feast with his music, because it will truly satisfy, your media consumption diet, because he is just so strong as an artist. So I love Liam. That's a new artist, and then a new track from someone that is very much a veteran in the game, On Your Mind by FK Twigs and Lil Yachty. Well, okay, it's FK Twigs featuring Lil Yachty, right? That's what I understand. But now I'm looking at Apple Music and it says and I don't know if I also saw it say with somewhere else, so I guess it's a song by the both of them, not just one of them featuring the other. Enough about semantics. I love FK Twigs. If you know me, you know I love a little alternative action from artists. So I think that this is a really fun track. It subverts what you might expect, I'll say, from Lil Yachty. However, not too much, because we have his project Let's Start here. And you know what? Let me just make sure I'm getting the name of this right, guys. I literally have my iPad out. This is my research tool. Let's start here. I was about to call it Drive Me Crazy, but that's the song. That's the one like hit song from it that everyone's like, ooh, let me not sing. I don't know if I can sing in the video or if I'm gonna get a copyright strike. I don't know how this YouTube business really works. So y'all, the song's called Drive Me Crazy by Lil Yachty. Check it out if you want to. And yeah, you know, I like a little alternative, shaking it up. So I love FK Twigs naturally. And then I like Lil Yachty's addition to the track and also just his alternative project, Let's Start Here, from a few years ago. I believe it was 2023. And I saw FK Twigs at MSG in March, this past March. Such an amazing performer. She's just so talented and amazing and perfect. And I would encourage you to see her perform if you ever get the chance to. You know, she has a very rich catalog and she performs, baby. She performs. She's dancing and singing and making it look so effortless that you just have to give her her tens. Okay? Let's go back to my recently added. I have been listening to old Trippie Redd a lot lately. Again, I just feel like I'm nostalgia baiting myself, and people will always say music of today, insert whatever era they're talking about, doesn't hit the same as music of insert whatever nostalgic era they are referencing. You know, they'll say that it doesn't hit, but I can't even lie, I'm starting to see that point of view a little bit now. Guys, also I'm sorry that I keep moving around so much, so I'm shaking the bed, shaking the MacBook. I talk with my hands, and then this is recorded on a Mac. So you guys are really getting the true FaceTime experience. It really should feel like we're on FaceTime. Maybe I can hold it steady so that you guys have a little more stability, but let me shout out some Trippie Redd tracks that I've been bumping lately. Bust Down by Trippie Redd. Oh my gosh. I discovered this song back in, I want to say 2018. It released in 2017 though, but I discovered it in 2018. And I used to bump this song so much. I remember being on a plane. I don't even remember to where, and I think this was the only song I had downloaded. If you guys know, you know. I don't know what it was with me and forgetting to download my music before flights, but I would forget. And so this is the only song I had downloaded. So I was bumping this song for the whole flight. I also did this a few years later. I was gonna say a few years prior, but it was actually a few years later. I was trying to remember the timeline of when this song hold up, when this song was trending. The song I'm gonna refer to now is Playboi Carti's song Kid Cudi / Pissy Pamper. And that song, let me tell you guys, that song, I had only downloaded that song on SoundCloud. Look guys, my music streaming services are all over the place, but that song, that was the only song I had downloaded, I think maybe 2 years later when I was traveling somewhere. And that was another one. So just know the one song that you only have downloaded on a streaming platform that gets bumped for hours and hours on end will never leave your mind. But back to this Trippie Redd talk. So Bust Down by Trippie Redd, Dark Night Down Low by Trippie Redd, featuring Travis Scott. Are there even words? This is why I wanted to start making like face content so you guys could see my passion about songs. You could see that I'm really talking with my hands behind the screen, because editing Jess is back there just adding her little memes and images and funny things, and I mean, at least I find them funny, or I'm just really passionately talking with my mic, but y'all can't see my face, and you also can't tell that I'm really liking something, and maybe it just sounds a little monotone. I don't know how it sounds from your end. I'm not watching myself from the third person perspective, but let's just say the song slaps. Now we're gonna go to another project. Oh wait, yeah, we're climbing up in time. Oh no, that's from 2017 too. Now we're going to 2021. We have Miss the Rage and okay, I don't know if there was an and. I feel like there's another song I'm thinking of, but it's not from this project. Taking a Walk is another one, and also Forever. Is it Forever or Forever? Forever Ever. Okay, Forever Ever. So Forever Ever and Taking a Walk were the other songs that I wanted to shout out here. So let's see what else I've been listening to. Tape You by Nerd. Boom. Super groovy, fun for the summer. Up Like an Insomniac by XXX Tentacion. Guys, this song will literally continue to make a resurgence in my playlist year after year. Maybe even month after month, because there is nothing like this. There's actually nothing like this track. You cannot make another track like this. Rest in peace to X. He was just such an enigma. Honestly, the rage rap just surge. I'm not gonna say that he started it, because that's gonna start wars in my comments perhaps, but he was definitely a big, let me make sure I phrase everything correctly. He was a big player in rage rap, or the emo rap, or screamo. There are a lot of different ways I can describe the various tracks he put out and the content that he would ultimately discuss in his music. I'm just gonna say rage as an umbrella term here, but I just have to shout out X, because I think that again, I'm nostalgia baiting myself here. I have been going back and listening to his discography. Too good. Party Next Door too. Okay guys, now I think I'm just yapping about music that I'm just really loving, but I sometimes want to get into not controversial things, but maybe a hot take of mine. But we're gonna talk about the music that I've been enjoying first, before all that. Just all of Party Next Door's discography I've been revisiting. All of SZA's discography I've been revisiting. And then Sofago, y'all. I don't know when Sofago is gonna really decide that he wants to show us why he was next up. But I'm gonna tell you, I keep revisiting that After Me project from 2020. I'm checking the year here on my handy dandy device. And then also, let's talk about Knock Knock and how it took over TikTok and continues to take over TikTok every single year as a new trend. Honestly, every few months as a new trend, not even just every year. But Sofago, please, I want him to go properly mainstream so badly, because it feels like he was underground, then was kind of coming to the mainstream, then went back underground. And I want him to be in the mainstream eye again, because he is just so good. Like, I like the melodic rap, the melodic rappers. Let's see if there's anything else. Oh, something I'm anticipating is the new Steve Lacy project. Oh yeah, Steve, I'm anticipating that, because he has literally never failed us. I'm looking at the track list again, and goodness gracious, Steve, we're gonna be eating good. There's another song that released that I did not listen to, but I listened to Nice Shoes, which came out a long time ago, and The Feeling. But I see that another track came out as a single from this project called Is It Cool featuring SZA. You guys are doing something to me, so I'm not gonna listen to it while I'm filming, because I don't want to get a copyright strike. Okay? I think y'all are about to see a cut in this, because I don't want my footage to stop. So I'm gonna manually stop it and then start recording again.